It's Xolo Maridueña here, and I'm very pleased to be this next guest on Get Wrecked with Straw Hat Goofy.
Wake up, Juju. Time to go to work. All right, can we talk about wake up, I get it, I get it, wake up, I get it, I go with everyone saying I'm up next. It's not my fault that the vocals are gold, they're making the haters so upset. My life is a movie, the way that I roll. They saying I'm goofy, but baby, you know I'm making everybody upset. Cause we the best, how we get wrecked, and I know we gonna get bread, we gonna get bread. We gonna get bread, we gonna get bread. We gonna get bread, we gonna get bread.
All right, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Juju, aka Straw Hat Goofy, your movie guy, and we got none other than Xolo Maridueña in the building, man. It's a long time coming, bro. How you
Thank
feeling?
you so much for having me on. I'm feeling good. The energy in here is great. I'm happy to be here, happy to be in Los Angeles, and to be in a studio other than my own podcast for a second is kind of nice too.
You guys
Getting
have
some
a good
inspiration
studio.
every time I head into a new space. I'm
It's
like,
the color.
Oh, we need to get a Grogu.
Yeah,
Okay.
bro. Honestly, like get some because I just put you on Game to Sideshow
Yeah,
Collectibles, and I feel like after that I need to see some more layouts in your
Yeah,
in your
we
setup.
have some cool ones, but they're all so random. There's Jacob and I's sense of style and like decoration is so different that he'll bring like a vase that he found somewhere random, and I'm like, okay, this is
This will be
this
cool, right?
doesn't really go with the mid-century modern look, but okay. Let's
Wait, is that the
make-
real look? Like
No,
the,
not like
the feng shui
no,
of this place is
yeah,
not
I'm like, this
vibing
is
with
not
the vase.
Californian really in nature, but all right.
See,
We can make it work.
I'm very bad at interior design. Like anybody that I date, anyone who I've dated, I would say
You're, like,
straight
taking
up.
notes.
My girlfriend says like, "Oh, so like, what type of house would you want, or like, what would you want in
Okay,
the house?"
okay.
I tell her straight up, "Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that." Like,
You're like,
that chair.
okay, yeah. There's well, what about like I just reminds me of those, maybe one of those folk like the HGTV shows where they're like, I'd like a house. You just got to say next door, I want a house in the forest but on the beach.
Okay.
And it needs 6.5 bathrooms
Oh.
and a bowling alley.
What is this? Like, what's it, Cribs?
And they're like, it also needs to be $200,000, and you're like, what?
Okay.
And somehow they always find it. That's
Listen, the only time I've seen something that sounds like a weird cross between Cribs and Pimp My Ride.
Yeah.
Like this feels like a Pimp My Cribs and exhibit needs to come out at some point.
Yeah.
And I always wondered that. Like I don't watch HGTV. I've always wanted to be the guy
really,
who
you
watched.
seem like totally the
I do.
the target demographic.
I do, right? Like what can you say? Growing
I
up,
don't, I don't
Definitely.
either.
growing up in Compton, like
I don't
HGTV
either.
was just
Like-
on everyone's household thing. I never I never thought I would ever get anywhere close to what was happening on that channel. So I
It's-
just steer clear from
You were
that
like-
channel.
and that's why we know nothing about interior design.
Not at all. Like, come on. It's racism is what it is.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, they're
No,
okay,
yeah.
let's-
No, but it's like for me, like I would just straight up say like I'm more than happy just being the guy who just like lets you do everything, and then you come to me and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I'll just go, "Looks good, babe.
Okay,
I like
you're
what I
there
see."
you go.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you if I like
If
what
I-
I see,
if
and
I
I'll tell
don't
you
like
if I
it.
don't like
Yeah.
it, and that's like as far as I'll go.
Yeah.
The one thing I guess I will say that I want in a house is an island in the kitchen.
Okay.
I don't know why,
Oh.
but an island in the kitchen just feels like fancy living, right?
It definitely is. I feel like I have distinct memories of like Modern Family and Hancock and all those nice houses, and they always
They
have an
always
island.
had an island.
Yeah.
Every kitchen, every great kitchen
With
starts
like
with an
weird
island.
stuff on the bottom. You're like, why is the microwave under the island?
So, bro, you ever watch Smart House?
No, what is that?
You never watched Smart House?
No.
Okay, so I don't know how tapped into like the Disney Channel original movie scene
Okay,
it was,
okay.
but it was a Disney Channel original movie. And the whole premise of the movie was that this kid won a smart house, which was like
Okay.
a house that had like AI built into it.
Okay.
And it had a AI named Pat. That was
Okay.
I think it was not Franz Dress. Who was the woman in Married with Children? It was the main. I can't remember the actress's name for the life of me, but she was like the voice of it. And basically, like they had this tricked out house. They would wake up to projections on the wall before projections in your
gosh.
house was like even a
It
thing.
was like the original Black Mirror.
Literally, it was like Black Mirror, legit. It was like a lighthearted Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Because eventually she says, "Oh," because it was like a single father led family, and so she basically said, "This house needs a mother. I will be their mother. What? And she locks them down, creates a hologram of herself, and traps them in the house.
Typical.
So very much Black Mirror, right? And I think there was actually a movie. Holy shit. Afraid, but AI was like emphasized in the movie Afraid. It had John Cho in it, and it was about this guy who created this AI thing to make their house better, and the house takes over. And I said, this is basically Smart House, but not Disney, right?
And then there's Monster House,
and then there's
Monster House, which is another house that seems to be possessed by something.
And honestly, man, I didn't like that movie when I first saw it, but like, because I don't know what it was. Like, I guess like the idea of a house that could eat you, just like inherently, like I'm living in a house.
Yeah.
What if my house comes to life?
You're like,
and eats me?
What if you're just looking at the lights, the ceiling fan, like this is definitely gonna come down.
Like the carpet's gonna like come alive and like swallow me up. But that movie's a freaking banger. Like I love Monster House.
Katie Seagal.
Voices
Layla on Futurama.
She is Layla on Futurama. Oh my God.
Whoa.
I didn't know this, but that makes so much sense now.
She's voiceover queen.
Yeah.
I love this. Okay, this is great. Man, she's getting paid. She like everything she does, they stand the test of time. Like, I love this.
Her stock is going up.
I'm telling you, this podcast pushing it back up like what's her name? Kate Bush and Stranger Things. I'm telling you, it's coming. She's coming. She's never left, but she's coming back. Shoot, Futurama is back too. So yeah, she's getting paid. But I bring Smart House up because like I specifically remember that like they go into the kitchen and they say, oh wow, like we didn't make breakfast, and the house says, oh, I got that covered, and she says, we want a smoothie, and then like the freaking island opens up from the middle and there's a smoothie ready to go, and I'm like, island,
I need that.
I feel like that's where it came from. I feel like
now they just have smart fridge that just is so dumb.
I mean, it's the first step to a smart house, I guess. It's like, oh, you can see inside now.
They're like, have you ever wanted an iPad on your refrigerator?
Honestly, just open the fridge, bro. Like what do you need that for?
All right,
I
guess.
What does a smart fridge do other than like being transparent?
I don't know. I just always see those families fake like, these are our grocery list. This is what we need to put on. Avocados. You're like, all right, well, nobody could have
just wrote that down.
Send me a text. Like,
we're getting further and further away from the plot with that one. Just like, oh yeah, I don't want to write. I'll just tell the fridge. I guess this is how the Skynet rises up on us.
Yeah,
like I really did. I feel like we could get into this like later in the pod, but like with this whole like deal going with AI, did you see Tilly Norwood in the news?
The new actor.
I will put 100% air quotes on that shit. Bro, I don't know why. I'm not an actor, but that shit pissed me off.
I've only seen the photo, so I'm not really as well educated as I should be about this, but it just seems in poor taste and kind of not reading the room.
I think it's like maybe a little bit more nefarious than that, it seems, because for one, there was a whole strike that happened 2 years ago about this, like fighting for this. And
that they didn't really, dot their T's and cross their I's.
And this shows it, right?
What was happening with AI.
And this 100% shows it.
All right, we've been dried out too much. Let's just sign up.
And I feel like the reason why I say it's a little bit more nefarious than this is because not even, I think like 3 days after this, a producer who's worked with real actors and directors said, oh, here's a trailer for this movie that was directed by an AI director. Which I'm like, how dare, right? Like, first, how dare? Like, you're looking at the backlash of this actor thing, and he said, perfect time to put this out.
Birdman hand rub.
Here I come.
He's like, wow, this is it's getting a lot of traction.
I think we're gonna strike while the iron's hot. That's how they do it on the algorithms, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's very easy to make an AI directed movie, but I don't know substantively what you're getting there.
I saw this thing. I read this thing with James Cameron, like, which I'm really excited about, like Avatar Fire and Ash.
Oh yeah, and
Avatar is probably, in a modern sense, one of the best examples of innovation in film.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, just James Cameron as a filmmaker in general.
Always been that way.
Titanic, Terminator, I mean,
Aliens, like, you know, like the man he does it. And like, I'm like a big Avatar fan. Like, I love the Na'vi. I love that world that he's created. But I love that he's been taking his time, like perfecting the craft of like motion capture and CG and VFX and things of that sort. And I remember he said this thing where he said
bet on himself.
He bet on himself, right? And like, only the best directors do that. We see it with Ryan Coogler. We see it with Martin Scorsese. Paul Thomas Anderson took 20 years to do one battle after another. Whoa. And with James Cameron, I love that he was saying that I'm going to, when it comes to this VFX process, it's more than just putting things into a program and just letting it go. I want to know their point of view on this, right? It could be really easy and it could look good if we just had a machine do it when it comes to AI. But without that human perspective and that human touch, what does this all mean? Yeah. Right? Every shot, every shot in the Avatar franchise that I see, I'm just kind of like, how the hell did they accomplish this? And you could tell there's a lot of intention behind it. And I don't feel like you can get that intention with AI.
I mean, that's how you know an AI is not going to make a Miyazaki movie or anything like this where you're saying, or a Pixar movie, right, where there's that attention to detail with every frame. Because you have to have hundreds of people, you know, doing effects at the same time. Like it's everything has to be pitch perfect. And I think it's inevitable, clearly, at, you know, the battle between, you know, making something that's profitable and making something that's creative has always kind of been there. Yeah. Producers and folk alike have always wanted to be like, let's try to make the best movie for as little as possible. Let's do this. Right. And I think, you know, time will tell. We're seeing a lot of great examples of people, you know, kind of swing in the other direction and kind of set their feet firmly in the ground and say, yo, this isn't the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, you're a big like fan of like original films. Like I remember you were really going in on like Monkey Man when it came out. Which
I fucked with Monkey Man.
Monkey Man is so fucking good,
dude. But the crazy thing about something like Monkey Man is that this is what's so backwards about sometimes, you know, the business part of the movie making business is that a movie like Monkey Man can come out and, you know, the people that watch it enjoy it and it has a little bit of legs and great acting and really great visuals, filmmaking is top tier, but it can still be perceived merely because of a box office, you know, ranking that it was quote unquote unsuccessful. And I'm like, well, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that you know, that this one sole factor in a movie is what makes something worthy or not. And the fact that, you know, these types of movies, the Monkey Men of the industry are going to be the first to kind of go on the wayside as companies start to slim down and move more like Fortune 500 companies instead of places making art. And yeah, I'm equally as into the, you know, those types of movies as I am seeing how people want to, you know, kind of renovate and bring back to new generations the stuff that we know and love from a kid too. So I think it's like I love that push though.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's room for like all modes of storytelling, right? Like you can have your original films. You can have like continuations of films that we know, right? Like some of the greatest movies of all time are sequels, are remakes, right? Like, you know, The Departed from Martin Scorsese is a remake of Infernal Affairs, right? Terminator 2 is one of my favorite action movies of all time, right? I feel like what Dan Trachtenberg is doing with the Predator franchise, like reinvigorating it, and the Alien franchise being reinvigorated with Alien Earth, there's room for these type of things. But in terms of like how we view Andor, like, right? Like I still haven't watched it, but like from my friends who like tell me about it, they position it as one of the best pieces of like media ever out there, right? And the fact that that's coming from Star Wars, it's insane. So like, but I agree with you when it comes to like assigning a value on a piece of art like based off of like how much it's made or how much is that. It's very similar to, and I don't want to make too much of a comparison to like content creation and like making movies. They're completely different things, but I feel like content creation is a microcosm of the algorithmic framework of thinking. Yeah. Right? Where it's like people are making great content. It's just that maybe the algorithm isn't pushing the content as well. That doesn't mean the content isn't good. That doesn't mean the creators suck. That just means they haven't had that pop-off moment.
And also the algorithm was created, you know, outside, like without the peripheral to take in that other stuff. The algorithm for movies is such that, you know, folk of color have made way less movies. Yes. So when you're judging these statistics on, you know, the same in a vacuum, it's like how it doesn't act like it's not weighed the same.
Right. And then also they don't have as much. A lot of times they're not put in positions to have the resources to make like those big swings, right? Yeah. Like every now and then we'll get someone who like completely breaks the mold. I have this thing that I talk about with my friends all the time, especially when we talk about like people of color and specifically African Americans in the space, is Black famous, right? And you have like actors that everybody in the hood knows, right? Like you see them and you're just like, oh, that's Blair Underwood. Like, oh, that's Sanaa Lathan. Like, oh, Regina Hall was Black famous for a long time. But then you have like, you know, your mainstream Black like people like Ryan Coogler, right? Michael B. Jordan, Denzel Washington, Will Smith for the longest time. And it's like these people were put into the best positions. Like they took advantage of the opportunity that they got. They got the chance and they took advantage of it. And then they became the mainstay. It's like a double-edged sword when you think about it, because it's like, I remember watching this documentary where I think it was Blair Underwood who said, during the time, it was either you had to be Denzel or you had to be Blair Underwood to be put into something, right? And so they're only looking at, oh, these are the ones that made it. But when you look at like the grand scheme of things, if you put people of color in positions like you would a James Cameron and give them a chance like a Martin Scorsese, then you would see like those yielded results. They're doing the best with what they have, right? Like it's just kind of crazy.
You're hitting on something there. I think like that totally reminds me of the experience kind of getting to work on something like a Blue Beetle with a director like Angel, because he really got to, in that moment, step up, you know, to the same plate that so many folk, you know, that we admired before, you know, were in the same shoes of. And to see how he handled that dynamic, I think you're so right in that when you have the opportunity to do that, like, it's a double-edged sword. Fortunately and unfortunately, like when that mic gets past you, you better be
you gotta
ready,
rock that,
because it's not going to come back around for a while. If you know, if you know, rock the mic. And getting to see him in that moment, I was like,
he crushes the moment.
This guy is,
he crushes that moment,
and it wasn't easy, bro. Like the dude spent years, you know, before the movie even hit day one of production. You know, we had production, a year plus of post-production, all of this stuff. Like, he put his whole heart and soul into this thing, and every single day, you know, on set, post-production, there was some, you know, and I don't believe it to be, you know, kind of malicious or malintent, but a wanting to make it more, you know, approachable to everyone. Yeah. And I think what he did really well was show everyone that actually when you zoom in the magnifying glass, you see that, you know, these folk are a bunch of cells just like you are back home. Like, actually, you learn, oh, wow, I didn't know that we had such a similar experience, you know, myself and, you know, this Mexican family here, and Angel as a Puerto Rican director. Like, I thought he bridged that gap really well, and it was unfortunate timing for just putting out a movie at that time, but it was in the same vein of something like a Monkey Man. I refuse to believe, and I've witnessed the effects that this has had on children and families alike, and that is not a fail, like, you know. So to, you know, I'm excited for his next gig, and can't wait to work together again soon. But it's really profound when you get to witness someone in that moment, like you're talking about, having the bells and whistles to perform at that level.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Like I want to keep like talking about this because something you said that was very interesting to me, and that was like them trying to make it approachable for everybody.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's always the biggest stopgap when it comes to creating things like a Blue Beetle, like a Black Panther, where it's like there's a fear of alienating the wider audience because it's such a pointed cultural like story, right? And there's a lot of comparisons, and I'm sure that you heard it, like with Blue Beetle being like the next Black Panther, and in all intents and purposes should have been, right? Like it should have like popped off as like Black Panther did. And you know,
it's very kind of you.
Yeah, bro, like I'm dead, like bro, when I tell you I'm dead ass serious when I say that, like this should have been the Black Panther of this time. I've made videos, I've seen many people make videos saying like this is the Black Panther for the Latino community. And so when you look at something like a Black Panther, Ryan Coogler was very, very specific that he did not want to like create something that was he's very conscious of making something that is universal, but he knows that his experience as a Black man is like
it's inherent.
It's inherent.
It's in the fact that he breathes every day.
Exactly. Like not to get too much into the Black Panther thing, because I'm gonna get to this point, is like the beauty of Black Panther is like, yes, there is like a story about like a guy who feels spurned by a futuristic version of African Americans and saying, you left us behind, let me turn the world on its head and make us the masters now because we've been oppressed for so long. But like everyone can deal with like themes of like being alienated by their family, being the heavy wears the crown. Like these are universal themes just told through a Black lens. And so a Blue Beetle, the theme of family is universal, right? It's just the dynamics in a Latino family may be different than the dynamics of a white family, of a Black family. And I feel I get very offended and like quite frankly like upset for you when I even get a whiff of someone saying, oh, well, I don't want to be preached to too much when it comes to that lens of like the Latino community. So, but what I wanted to ask though is when you're watching, like when you're making Blue Beetle, knowing the success of Black Panther and what it could do for the Latino community, was there any conversation between you and Angel and maybe even like Angel in the studio where they were like, well, look what Black Panther did. They can do it. We can do that too. Did that ever like happen? Was that ever talked about?
You know, it was not specifically with something like, I don't remember specifically Black Panther being name dropped. But there was this sense in pre-production as the movie was getting its legs that like, oh, you know, the movie was originally a Max original or like a movie straight to streaming, and in the process of figuring out what the movie was to be and, you know, the characters that in the story that we were going to unfold with, the studio did, you know, resonate or take kindly to this idea that like, whoa, this actually could be huge.
Right.
You know, this could be worldwide. This could be global. And they were kind enough to kind of bump it up to this theatrical release and throw it in theaters. And I remember, you know, being in Target, fuck Target, but this was way back when.
Let's go.
And I got a call from Anhen, and he was like, bro, we're going to be in theaters now. And I think that kind of also, it
had to juice you up a little bit.
Yeah, it's this creatine of like, okay, it's this exhilaration of, all right, you know, this mixed in with when we got to production, every single person, and this was the first time that I'd ever had this happen to me, but, you know, from in front of the camera to the writers to our sound people to, you know, the people making the score, wardrobe, like there were so many people of color that on the first day of meeting them were like, bro, I signed up for this right away because I want to be a part of history like this. And that feeling I had never felt before, and that sense of, you know, pride that came with getting to work on a production, I hadn't felt to this degree. And for those reasons, I did, you know, it did feel like, yo, this is going to be massive. I was constantly having, you know, joking, like, talking to people who have worked on, because we, a lot of these people have worked on tons of the Marvel and DC stuff, and they're like, yeah, this is your first rodeo, but bro, we're dressed Cavill, like they're like, this is nothing.
We do this.
So I would be like, is this what it always feels like? And they're like, no, this is really awesome. This is special, and I think that kind of stands the test of time in a way that money can't quantify.
No, absolutely. And I feel like, because I look at the critical response to the movie, got really great critical response. Got a really great audience response. I think it's sitting at 90% on the tomato meter.
Shout out tomato.
Fact check that. I believe it's 90%.
It's actually 30.
When it comes to the audience. No, exactly. This will be so embarrassing, but I'm so confident right now. Actually,
you're like, oh, it's rotten.
This one I tell you to leave. It wasn't as big as I thought it was.
Wait, oh God. Wait.
No, but what is it at?
So tomato meter 78.
Let's go.
Audience meter 90.
Okay, nice.
90. And honestly, I feel like I gotta be careful with what I say here, because I feel like as a critic who deems himself as more of a just a guy who likes movies, part of the audience as well.
A movie appreciator,
right? Because I always shy away from critic, right? I feel like that comes with a lot of baggage that I'm quite frankly not ready for. But I feel like when it comes to the audience response, that says a lot than a critic score, because I feel like critics go in with, and I could be guilty of this too, with this attitude of impress me, right? And I don't think that's a way to go into a movie, right? Over analytical, over criticizing. I feel like a lot of critics can lose the plot of what a movie is about and forget how a movie makes you feel for service of oh, do you connect with this on a personal level? And they lose that, right? They'll go in saying I don't understand the meaning of a Latino family needing to do these certain things, and then that affects the review.
Or they're like, some of this felt forced.
Things like that.
But this is just how it is.
I see a lot more critics come around on their opinions of a movie farther down the line than I see an audience that always loved it from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
So when I see a 90% audience score, that makes me go okay, it hit.
Yeah.
But 79 from the critics thing, it's that's fucking great
that's
movie.
Too.
That's a great fucking movie, right? So I just wanted to clear that up. But with this movie that came out, obviously there was a bunch of factors outside of the movie itself. We talk about algorithms, right? You didn't factor in that the strike was happening during that time. That cut off the legs of a lot of creators who couldn't talk about the film during that time and hype it up. And this was because what month did Blue Beetle come out?
It was August.
It was August. Yeah. The strike didn't end until October.
Yeah.
So that's 3 months of not having to strike the iron while it was hot and create this discourse around it. Because obviously there was a bigger conversation being had over the strikes and everything. But I felt the same way about One Piece, which we will talk about in a second, by the way. I felt the same way where I was
Dude.
Two things that I loved, right? I cannot talk about.
Yeah.
I cannot publicly shout out yo, this movie is great because this and this and this and that.
Yo, that's so wild. I remember being in Mexico and getting to meet Iñaki before the show had come out, but he had already filmed it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were kind of just, we were getting to, it was a really comforting moment to get to actually sit across from someone who did understand kind of what was about to happen. And thankfully they're getting to come back for new seasons and, the story is going to continue and they kind of were able to rise above that wave. Just kind of like Blue Beetle did, but it did feel especially vulnerable in that time, especially when it does feel like everyone around you is telling you be ready. You're about to blow.
Bro, we were feeling it.
Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, we were feeling it.
I wasn't, emotionally prepared for that not to happen. It was definitely a interesting kind of weeks after, because I felt oh my God, it's all leading up to this day here. And then slowly but surely I realized whoa, it's it lives past this day. This isn't the end all be all. And they ended up lifting the strike, and thank goodness that Dune was postponed so that they could do promo for it. I think it kind of all leveled out in a way, but it was really nice to get to chat with Iñaki.
Yeah, I want to talk to you more about that in a second. But what to say on the Blue Beetle point,
yes.
I got talking about that moment, like we all felt it from an audience perspective of like, this is going to be huge, right? Like people were like making videos, people were making like TikToks on it and everything.
Dude, the Blue Beetle battalion was going strong. Everyone, I want to say that's maybe where I first met you. Was it at CinemaCon?
It was at CinemaCon.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember this, but we did the best dap up ever.
Yeah.
It was like reverberated through the Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
It was great. That's when we first met, man.
It was a real awesome time, and like it was the most comforting and grounding experience at an otherwise kind of, crazy time to be releasing a movie.
Yeah.
Folk like yourself were so integral in making this whole thing feel fantastic.
And I got like approached with a moment that like really tested me when it came to that movie, because this was when the strike happened, I was in London and I was at the premiere for Oppenheimer.
Okay.
And this is like the first strike since 2006 or something like that.
It's been a minute. Yeah,
it's been a minute,
years.
and like influencers wasn't a thing during that time.
Yeah.
And I remember like I got to a little bit of hot water when like I didn't know how to act like because of the strike.
Yeah.
And so like the way I thought about it was like, well, I'm not an actor, I'm not a writer, I'm just going to keep making my videos and like we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And I had like some like pre-existing like brand deals, and I said like, oh, I'm gonna finish that. Didn't clarify. I was like, I'm gonna finish those, but like I'm definitely with the strike and things of that sort. And then I got completely misconstrued to be like, oh, well, you're gonna be scabbing, like you're gonna be taking their jobs and promoting their films and this and this and that. And I'm just like, I have no idea how this works, like at all. Like I literally, it was like the first day of the strike, and I was just like, please don't call me a scab. This is first day. I have no idea what to do. So like it was like a very sensitive time from like an influencer standpoint who talks about movies, like how do we conduct ourselves and how do we do our jobs and make our money while this is happening. And so I just kind of like went all in on like the One Piece content and was just like, let me just do that. Luckily, I'm very knowledgeable about that. So that's what my whole content was throughout the duration. But the moment that tested me was I was at San Diego Comic-Con. I came straight from London, went to San Diego Comic-Con. And I remember a studio exec from Warner Brothers approached me. And he was like, yo, we got this Blue Beetle screening happening soon. We would love for you to like see the movie and like talk about it like on your channels. And like because of all that was going on, and because of like the emotions were high because of the strike, like I was like, I want to talk
Feels
about
like the
this.
Cheese touch.
Bro, it was a cheese touch. It felt like that. Like, bro, thank you for referencing that. I was like, do I? I was like, and I told him straight up. I said, bro, like I don't think that's like appropriate to do it during this time. Like as much as I want to, as soon as it's over, because we didn't know how long it was gonna end up going. So like we were thinking like maybe another couple weeks or something. Yeah. I said, bro, please like hit me up in like another couple weeks when the strike is done. It ended up being a couple months. Yeah. And I just feel like during that time, like everybody got their legs cut off. To like really hype up this movie, as well as a bunch of other things, as well as One Piece. Yeah. So like, but something I'll read these out to you right now, because like I was actually like looking at some of the comments on like the trailers and stuff like that. Oh, dude. And like even on the comments of some of your Lone Lobos podcasts as well are all talking about Blue Beetle, and I want to read you two of them. The past year has been tough for me until I saw Blue Beetle. Xolo, you changed my life and your movie was perfect. I wish I could meet you in person because what I have witnessed is truly inspirational. The second one.
And you commented that?
No, I did not.
I'm just kidding.
It wasn't me. They're both from him. Can you imagine how I take that away?
And we're meeting now.
Yes. Yes. I did do that. No, that comment was from Madison Grace 009 2 years ago. She says, truly Maddie. A gentleman. Can't wait till your next podcast.
Oh, Maddie, that's really sweet. I think it's really profound, the opportunity to get to fill these shoes, and this character in this project was so much larger than myself. So to get to, take some moments, thank you for kind of bringing that up. It's always nice to kind of have that reminder.
It's like when you hear those things, because I'm sure people come up to you all the time and tell you like how amazing you were in the movie and like how they want you to. They just move you out the way like, oh my God, it's Blue Beetle!
Oh my God, it's Jacob Scott! It's Hawk from Cobra Kai! Get out of here!
Which one do you get like approached for most, Cobra Kai or Blue Beetle?
I'd say it's probably Cobra Kai, but I feel when it is Blue Beetle, it's like, yo,
you be like,
it's like, yeah, I don't have the experience just yet where I can right away be like, okay, this is what I know. Because honestly, for me, most often, it's like, has anyone ever told you that you look like the guy from, or
so they mistake you like, you look familiar.
Yeah, I was at In-N-Out and they were like, has anyone ever told you look like the guy from Miguel from Cobra Kai?
What do you?
I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I get that sometimes. Pleasure to meet you. Nice to meet you. And they're like, oh, nice to. Wait,
hold on.
What are you doing
in In-N-Out? Like it's so strange.
What are you doing in Highland Park right now? I'm like, girl, I live here. I'm like, this is my
That's
town.
Crazy. That is great. What are you doing in Highland Park? Hey, no mercy exists everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the show's based in LA.
No, for real. I thought that was like fake.
It was fake.
On a studio lot.
In Atlanta. Yeah, it was in Atlanta. But
hey, great fucking show. But like, I do get comfort like seeing the people's response to Blue Beetle and also seeing people. They want you back for Peacemaker so much, bro. You talk to my boy Jenks, man. And he was like, Peacemaker.
Yeah.
And I will admit, like, I'm really hoping like to see Blue Beetle return. I know you're like returning with a voice role pretty soon for Blue Beetle, right?
Yeah. There's a good number of angles I think to bring Blue Beetle back in, and by nature of how the gears turn over there, which one is going to hit first, I'm not too sure, but. I'm just as excited as everyone else to watch that last episode of Peacemaker and see if Blue Beetle's in there. We're gonna be watching together.
Can you imagine, like, is that me? They AI you.
I mean, look. Technically, maybe it's like a Mando situation where they're like. I don't look.
Oh, the mask, but it's not your face.
I mean, they know that I'm a blabbermouth too, so they wouldn't tell me if they did something like that.
That's like their reveal to you. That's like, yo, honestly, I want to see. Are you gonna do this? Are you going to react to the episode as you're watching to see if like a Blue Beetle cameo? That would be cool. Like your own reaction.
We just get to the credits and I'm like,
I'm back.
So happy we saw Wonder Woman.
We saw the new Wonder Woman.
We saw
Jaime?
We saw a wrist bracelet of Wonder Woman. Not even the full person. But yeah, check out Blue Beetle. But I don't know if I haven't honestly gotten that far in my head about thinking about what to do about this season finale, but I've been liking everything that I've been watching so far. That last episode with John Cena, I mean, that had some really good moments in it, and
the moment where he screams like, "No!" Dude, I said, "Bro, why did I get chills?"
Yeah, dude, it's crazy to think of all your homies, your squad, just taking out
your brother. Yeah, like come on, bro. Like,
and then the reveal at the end. That I was. Yeah, I'm a fan.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of like the Peacemaker series, and like I just love how integral and intricate the story is when it comes to his characters. Like the first episode, he referenced, I believe her name is White Bunny.
Oh yeah.
Which is like the most minor of characters.
Yeah, he's going to interview for the Justice Gang, and she's
like walking out,
yeah.
And I was like, is that? How do I even know White Bunny? Yeah. Like, that's crazy. And so what I feel like with this one, and this is like where my theory brain, because this is how it came up, man. This is like my theory brain. Like, he already has his brother, Sean, is like Maxwell Lord.
Right.
Who is integral to the, I want to say, which story was that? It's the story where Maxwell kills Ted Cord Blue Beetle.
Word.
And then, like, obviously, we have the, like, protege Jaime come in to, like, take over. So I'm like, if Maxwell Lord is already here.
Yeah.
Ted Cord is most definitely like here. We know that. Plus, this is like set like years after metahumans have already been revealed.
Oh yeah.
There are like we're already on the third Green Lantern with Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
So like Batman, Robin, Wonder Woman, her sidekick, I can't remember her name for the life of me.
Yeah.
But Ted Cord, Jaime Reyes, that's completely in the ballpark. So I'm like, if they want to go, I want to say like, and I hope it's not this far down the line. But I want to say that there's already in this universe, Ted Cord's already existing.
Word.
And he's already like being a mentor to Jaime. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
That's interesting. Look.
So, listen, you said that very sketch, bro. I'm not going to lie. Like, typical. That's interesting. We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, look.
That's a very sketch way to say that. I will just point that out.
I think that's super interesting. I don't know.
You're sweating a little bit, man.
I mean, honestly, you put me on game. I'm like, oh, Maxwell Lord, they're connected? That's cool. Yeah, you know, what I do know for certain is that it's going to be something kind of unexpected. Mm-hmm. Like, everything that I've seen so far come from this new wave in the DC has been, I think, quite surprising and subverted expectations. So I think in that same vein, the way in which Blue Beetle gets presented, all of these other Blue Beetles and that whole side of the universe, I just know it's going to be taking people for a loop.
Last thing I'm going to say on this Blue Beetle thing, I know that for sake of playing with you, if Blue Beetle comes back,
right,
he's gonna get the biggest audience reaction that I really do think he's gonna get the bro. He's gonna get a huge audience reaction. I'm talking like on par with for sure, right? Like it's gonna be on par with like Deadpool and Wolverine, with like Blade and all those guys pulled in.
They better, I know if that ever happens, they better like leave it out of the spoilers, all that. Like
they got to.
It's gotta just be.
But then months later, we got to see those like audience reaction YouTube videos, like how we got with like Spider-Man
Garfield,
like Andrew Garfield came out, and then
I would love that.
I want the edits of like the cheers in the theaters and stuff like that when they see you, bro. Like dude, I know that's inevitable.
There were some that I saw from the original Blue Beetle movie of some of the most fun moments from that. Where they would just like get the audience like, oh, no! At the end when he kisses the girl, everyone's like, whoa! Let's go! Everyone got a little win there.
That's gotta feel good, bro. That's gotta feel so good.
I was like, whoa, that's so crazy. Like,
and that tells you like the moment in time and like what it is, right?
It was so fun, yeah.
All right, so now we have to get into this. Okay. I've been shaking like getting to talk to you about this.
What?
One Piece.
One Piece.
Right? How big of a
fan?
One Piece. How big a fan of One Piece are you? Like, tell me where you're at. Tell me like your level.
I'm a fan in the premise, right? To be honest, my first exposure was the live action. Yeah. After meeting Iñaki, I was like, oh, I'm really interested in seeing what this is about. It had always seemed too intimidating an anime for me to get into or a manga to get into just because of
course, it's
how
huge.
Long it is. Yeah. Watched that, loved it. I think Iñaki's cast is so perfect. I love this idea of friendship and, you know, found family and camaraderie and you can achieve anything, blah, 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 blah. Love this. My bestie, he and his family are caught up.
Jacob?
So, Jacob is one of Jacob is damn near caught up. He's seen so much of it, but no, my childhood homie Anthony, he and his family go way back on the One Piece, and so getting to hear from him like, yo, this is the story, or yo, but this is going on, I think it has definitely intrigued me.
Right.
I've seen the first 200 episodes now.
Oh, nice. That's nothing to sneeze at, y'all.
I know. So I'm like
anime
1%
have lived and died
done.
in 200 episodes.
And they say it gets really good at 250. So I'm still hanging it. No.
Wait, before you go any further, I'm gonna just say this to the camera right now. If you're out here running around saying that One Piece gets good at 250, we need to oust you from the fandom. It's been good, okay? If you're not locked, it's been good. Like I don't know. I just get like a certain level of irate when I hear like, oh yeah, it doesn't get good. Because when people say that, I'm like, who's telling you this? Let me see him. Let me see him.
Severance. It's the third season.
That's
really when it starts to pop off.
Why did you get that far if it wasn't popping off in the first episode?
It was just confusing up until then, but
I
kept
going.
It clicks.
I kept going. So yeah, so please stop doing that. I will find you. And we will have a frank discussion. But
no, it gets good pretty early, honestly.
Yeah.
I think
I do say that if you're not locked in by
I'll say anything above 30.
I would say like you get locked in by I would say like Zoro.
Okay.
I would say like Zoro, but like
that's episode 2.
And that's like episode 2.
No.
Like that, because Zoro's like the most. He's everybody's favorite character. He's badass as hell. Like you find out his backstory. Like this guy's a cool motherfucker, right? So I feel like that's like it's like Zoro, but then like if you're really not locked in by Arlong Park, because that whole Nami backstory is just like crazy. It's like I'm glad that the live action like took the first season and said that's gonna be like our finale, like the hour-long park thing, because it deserves that. But yeah, man. So 200 episodes in, nothing to sneeze at.
So I don't know. I don't know where I range on the scale of like super big fan to kind of casual.
Yeah.
But I'm a real great appreciator of it. I think like it's so. It's one of these things that you can go down Mariana's Trench in. Like the people that love it.
Right.
And I think whenever that happens, it does pique my interest in like, dude, I want to know. I want to love it too. I want to know what the heck people are,
It's the community is like awesome. Like I love my One Piece family. Like, and like I think the cool thing about, I routinely say that One Piece is the greatest story like ever told. Like I think it's the greatest story in fiction.
Whoa.
I don't think there's anything like it. And
so you're caught up, I take it.
I'm all caught up.
Okay.
Manga, anime, live action. I'm gonna watch the.
Dude, I love that.
I'm gonna watch the remake that they're doing with I believe it's Wit Studio, who did like Attack on Titan and Spy Family and those things. So they're redoing it.
What do you mean they're remaking it?
So they're remaking the anime.
There's fucking thousands of episodes.
There's already thousands of, but the pacing's gonna be like condensed now.
Really?
Yeah. So like if you want to like really like,
how do you feel about that? As someone who
love it.
Spent, you're like, oh,
no,
now you're
coming
up.
I love it. Like because one,
you're about to go back.
We're about to go, and I'm gonna watch it, dub and sub.
So so it's gonna get like a spruce up on some of the animation.
Yes.
And
so
that's pretty lit.
I love. I think it's called Wit Studio, and I want to say they did Attack on Titan. They're also behind like Spy Family, which their animation is like sublime. And I believe they like dropped some teasers like last year as to like what it's going to look like. But they did say that the pacing is going to be very much condensed.
Okay.
Because like that's like the big criticism of One Piece is like the pacing of the show, which I can fully admit. Like the pacing of the show, they're dragging a lot of things out.
You can't hang, don't come aboard.
Ship. I say that all the time.
Hey, look, it's not for you. Just say that, okay?
I say not everybody can make it to the Grand Line.
Hey,
not everybody can make it to the Grand Line. Even less people can make it to the New World. Even less people get to the One Piece. So if you fall
do you
behind,
know who has the One Piece?
Nobody knows who has the One Piece.
Okay.
I think there's only 2 people in the world who know about the One Piece, and it's Oda, obviously.
Right.
And then I believe it's like his like main editor on the anime.
Oh, that's so crazy. Iñaki told me like last week. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
We can't be just giving this information out.
I just wanted to see your face.
Like this is how society collapses. You take this one secret and you're just giving it out to like random people.
Right? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Like that would be crazy if you actually knew and you're just sitting on it. But
no, I mean, no, it's I don't know. I can't even lie. I don't know.
No, and honestly, and I like the fact that I don't know. And I love how in the show there's like many opportunities for him to know what it is.
Really?
Like there's an episode where Rayleigh, who eventually trains Luffy like later, he sailed with Roger. He was his number 2 guy. And he says, they obviously know that he's made it to the One Piece and like he completed everything. And so Usopp was like, yo, tell me what the One Piece is. Yeah. What the treasure? Does it exist? Da 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 da. And Luffy gets so hype. He says, hell no. I don't want to know.
What?
If I find out this whole adventure, donezo. Like, I'm done.
Okay, wow.
He was like, I have no idea what it is. I don't want to know what it is. I just want to get there. He told Usopp to shut the fuck up so fast.
There you go. Nice job, like, Oda. You bought yourself a couple more
Bought
years.
yourself a couple decades, maybe, like, of storytelling. But, like, I'm glad that we don't know what it is. And, like, people, the number one criticism that I hear with One Piece is, why does it have to be so long? Like, nothing needs to be that long. And I say, when it comes to like some of the greatest stories that we know, a lot of those stories have a lot of parts to it, and a lot of them is like very, very long, right? In order to appreciate how hard this task is, because I remember first watching that first episode, and when you hear Luffy wants to be the Pirate King, you think like, okay, we're only here for like a couple years and he'll achieve it, but people tell him like, no, this is an impossible task. You're crazy if you think you're going to do this. And then by the end of it, and like I want to say the next 7 years or so, when he finally does it, we're going to look back at that episode and say, whoa, that actually was a crazy journey to get there. And I feel like it's one of the few stories to where not only do the characters earn getting to the last island, the audience will earn it too.
Yeah.
Right? I think about this moment all the time, the last episode of One Piece, where instead of it saying to be continued, it will say the end. And there's a collective sigh, a collective relief, like a collective like joy and jubilation in the world, because it's a worldwide thing, that we all go, we made it. Like we did this. Right? Even right now, right? Seeing Luffy I know this is a little bit of a spoiler, but like, hey, we seen him in his like Gear 5 form and everything.
Okay.
Luffy's now considered an Emperor of the Sea, right? Whoa. He's one of the four most powerful pirates and most notorious pirates in the world.
Whoa.
And to see him go from that, go from like guy in a barrel popping out, being like, that was a great nap, to like he now people like think twice before even
that's ultimate
approaching
manifest.
We're talking when you want to talk about aura farming.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the right way to aura farm.
He called it day one.
Day one, right? And he still hasn't even made it yet.
And I think I love that sentiment of like, yo, with persistence and like having your laser focused on something, like no one can stop you.
Yeah, even when you fail too, like you're gonna fail, but like you got to get back up. And as long as you got like people behind you, who my favorite moments in the whole show is when his crew be like, oh, he's gonna be Pirate King.
Whoa!
And fuck you for thinking otherwise.
Whoa!
Like
I haven't made it there yet.
But, you know, well, that's what I'm saying is like when the crew themselves start like talking to the bad guys, and we're talking like these are like bad guys who are like creme de la creme, like top of the world. Like these guys can like go to war with entire nation type bad guys, right? And you have the weakest member of the Straw Hats being like, nah, Luffy's gonna like overtake you. And I have full belief in that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah. Like there's this moment, and I don't want to get too much into spoilers because I do want you to experience, but there's this moment in the 1000th episode, and it's also in the 1000th chapter as well, where it's the War of Onigashima. They're about to take on Kaido and Big Mom, the two of the emperors of the sea, and all the Straw Hats like kind of come together. And Luffy's got like his whole crew by his back. He just got Jinbei onto his crew, so they have the new member, and they're just looking tough, like they're behind or whatever. And they all say something along the lines of like what they're going to do to get Luffy to where he needs to be. And Nami says like, hey, like I'm the navigator. It's my job to like point my captain where he wants to go. And then Frankie says like, well, let the Shogun clear the way for you. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Zoro just being like, yeah, your number two's got your back. And you're just like, all these people.
The fucking Avengers.
They're the Avengers. Yeah. And like to see like and like I think during this time they're like allied with like samurai. They're allied with like strange like I want to say like animal people called minks. And they got like Luffy literally has a whole army like at his back. And like you see these people who are looking to Luffy and they say, I know we're outnumbered, but with this guy like at the head, I think we're going to win this. Unstoppable. And we're unstoppable because that dude has such supreme belief in himself and his crew. We got belief in ourselves. So let's do this. And this is like right when the war kicks off. So it's moments like that that's like more than just like the story of like finding the One Piece. It's like you said, the persistence. Yeah. It's the drive to do something that only you know that you can do, right? And so yeah, One Piece is like my entire shit. But when it comes to this live action, I know there's been a lot of talk. And
there has been, bro.
There's been a lot of talk.
Even okay, we'll talk about this, but you go. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say like some people have like leaked that you've already been cast in One Piece, and
who?
It's been hard for me to kind of argue.
Who are these people?
One guy, he's actually a mutual of mine. I believe his name is Lucas. He's a Brazilian actor.
Okay.
And he's been campaigning to do Ace for a long time.
Okay.
For a long time, and I believe he was on a podcast, and he was talking to a friend. And he was like, yeah, man, like, I just wanted my chance to play Ace. And he was like, oh, yeah, man, my boy Xolo's already been cast as Ace.
Oh, okay.
And it was
Lucas, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Don't know who you are.
Okay, yeah, dude, I mean, it is quite, I mean, even I am so surprised at the connection that folk are making with me and this character, you know, as someone who is not as familiar with, you know, the whole story. I was so like, what? They really think that like that I could be the guy? That's so like it's very humbling that thought. It's even more humbling what like we did Geek Week last year. This kind of like convention type thing for the new Netflix projects, and Jacob and I were casting the event, and that's where they were announcing like the Croc and some of the other characters,
and we were waiting
that
for
were coming
Ace,
out, right?
And you were there,
and we did a whole photo shoot that day, right? With like all of the, you know, they had, you know, all the folk from One Piece and Wednesday, and then Jacob and I were in the photo, Avatar, and I remember like someone commented in the IG like, oh, that's our Ace. And then Netflix, like the account,
they liked it,
was like, yup, that's our, and I'm like, yo, like, What the heck? Like, this is slander at this point. This feels bad, actually, because I don't have the job, and y'all are just out here, like, fanning the flame?
I don't know, man. That sounds like a confirmation to me. Sound like an intern.
I know. I was about to say.
They shouldn't have been like.
Literally, they had no idea. They're like, I've never watched One Piece. I don't know what that means, but.
Well, we'll like it. Yeah, that is our ace.
This comment has a lot of likes. Let's. I was like.
Listen.
I called like my phone and I was like, hey, have we heard anything? They're like, nope. I'm like, okay, well. But it's a weird experience having someone be like, yo, I think you'd be great for this role. I'd love to, live up to that expectation. That it's always nice to get to be a part of a new family in that regard. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Dude, Ace is such a huge part of the One Piece lore.
Tell me, bro.
Huge One Piece. So I don't want to tell you because I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I don't want to spoil it, but obviously we do know that he is Luffy's brother.
Yeah.
Right. Super popular in the fandom. I believe he was ranked I want to say number 20 in a most popular poll.
Whoa.
Don't fact check. You can look at that, Kim, for me if you want to fact check that. But he's a very popular character, and let's just say that his ties in the story are monumental.
Yeah.
He has probably a top 3 moment in One Piece.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's a top 3 moment. It's a moment where you mention Ace to people, everybody knows what we're talking about.
Okay.
Right? You mention the moment, we're like, yeah.
And it's not his spoiler alert.
It is that moment.
Okay.
Yeah. It is that moment.
Really?
It is that moment. But
Okay.
it's also more than that.
It's
also more than that.
That's so cool. I can't wait to get to that. I don't know what episode that is, but this is something that I hear about.
And that's the thing too, because it is an Alabasta moment. He does appear for the first time in Alabasta.
I've seen that arc.
Right, and so but I believe the way this season is set up, it's going to end right when they get to Alabasta. Season 2.
Okay.
Because I know they filmed season 2 and 3 back to back.
Okay.
And I know towards the end of the season, that's where we'll meet. I think Chopper's episode 6 or something like that.
And they do the whole Doctor arc.
And they do the Doctor arc. And I think after Drum Island, that's when Alabasta we get there, and then we'll set up for that, because Alabasta's a huge arc. Yeah. It's huge.
That's the arc with Croc, right?
With Crocodile.
He's going to go look at that tablet and
exactly
helping him read the stuff and all
exactly.
that. Yeah.
And just me thinking of this from a storytelling perspective, Vivi, for all intents and purposes, we consider her a Straw Hat as well, right? But she doesn't obviously stay with the Straw Hats for long because she has to rule Alabasta and that type of thing. But I think it's the best way to cement Vivi as part of the crew, give her a full season plus some, and the full-on Alabasta arc, and then we leave her behind, and then she gets replaced with Nico Robin, who is also making her appearance in season 2 as well. But I feel like Ace would be a season 3 edition with a season 2 tease. So you don't have to tell me, but I'm willing to bet a lot of money in my pocket that a post-credit, to the finale scene, and it probably isn't going to be you, but a scene where you see a character from the back, his shirt is off, he has the iconic tattoo, the Ace tattoo, and then you see flips his finger and there's fire on his hand or something like that, and then we cut to
Jacob has said something eerily similar about in terms of how to set up this thing, because there's even like you're saying, there's parts in the show where he shows up briefly and then you don't see him again for a bit. So look, when does it come out? When does the season 2 come out?
I want to say March next year. March.
Checking.
It's coming out 2026. Everyone watch it so that we can get a season 3.
Listen,
it already has a season 3.
Then we can get some Ace,
so season 4.
Yeah, I think we're already greenlit.
Just sometime in 2026.
Hey.
Just sometime in 20. That's awful.
Whoa, was that a Freudian slip?
No,
that's awesome. Hey, maybe in the know.
You got the scoop?
Maybe in the know a little bit. Maybe in the know. But also, I laugh at this because a lot of people will consider Ace their best man, what's the male equivalent to a waifu?
It's that's their crush.
That's their crush.
Okay,
and
really?
I feel like them connecting you to Ace says a lot because you're a handsome dude.
Well, I was just about to ask. Guy. I was like, Cobra Kai, Blue Beetle. These characters don't seem similar to right?
No. Yeah, no. They're completely different.
Yeah.
Character sets. However, we did. So we watched you grow up on Cobra Kai.
Literally.
And I watched a lot of
embarrassing. so
I like the
embarrassed
growth.
about that.
I like the growth. By the way, that scene in the last one made me cry when you fucked up Axel and it kept flashing back to the previous moments.
Me too.
I was
can't
crying,
lie.
bro.
I cried too. I was like, shit, it's over.
It was
And
dope.
these are all the memories that we have.
I was like, every move was like talked to him at some point. I was
Yeah.
like, this is so dope. Yeah. But we watched you like grow into a fine young man, I should say.
Oh, thanks, G.
And I feel like there was like a moment where you awakened many women and men, just like, oh,
they're like,
I can see Ace. I can
really?
see Ace.
All right. Well, look, I appreciate the compliment. I'm still gonna be doing more push-ups
because you're gonna be shirtless 95% of the time in this role. So
no, isn't that that's like.
How was it being shirtless as Ace?
I haven't. I haven't. I can tell you being shirtless as Xolo is so uncomfortable. I hate being shirtless. I wish there was like, a bodysuit that I could wear.
Oh, see, like the little cosplay bodysuit.
Exactly.
Like the hard abs and everything.
Prosthetics are good enough. Maybe
I mean,
you could just have a situation like that.
I mean, it is.
I was looking at, looking at photos of Ace. I was like, this is not human. How is anyone supposed to like?
I've seen quite a few people match it.
No,
which is crazy.
But they started practicing before they even watched the show.
This is true. They just woke up. I got the body for that.
Yeah.
I could pull that off. They didn't work for it. To work for that body,
it's definitely having just the small experience of getting to work out for something like a Blue Beetle, and that was my first time ever. We do a lot of stretching and conditioning and training for Cobra Kai. A lot of it is choreography. A lot of it is almost feels like a dance in the way that you have to, know everything. And I wasn't privy to weight training, blah, 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 blah. For Blue Beetle, I got a taste of it, and I was like, whoa, I'm not built for this stuff. And it was so great to have, in my first entry, a team of folk that were willing to help and kind of guide me and have me learn about this. But it has to become a habit. Working out is definitely something that I've grown to appreciate with the years and have found what my angle is into the whole world. It has been really cool to kind of learn more about eating and the different parts, because it is a job at the end of the day. And
100%.
It's not just there's other things that you got to do to embody a certain character. So it's always cool to be able to push yourself.
Right. I keep thinking of Kumail Nanjiani when he was in the Eternals.
Right.
You saw that transformation shook me. Watching him for so long. He's average guy body, right? He's a comedian. He's up there. And then you see him show up with a chiseled jaw, like you could grate cheese on him.
Literally.
It's like, bro, what? And I liked what he said when he popped out where he said, just so you know, this ain't normal.
Yeah.
Right? I literally am working for one of the biggest brands in the world. Yeah. They have the best nutritionists in the world, the best trainers in the world. I understand that the average person can't do this, right? And I think he said something after the fact where he said I don't know if he was talking more to the success of the Eternals movie, but he said that whole process kind of not messed him up, but it really made him reevaluate things in his life, the work that he has to put in for something like that, and then when it doesn't do well, how it messes with your psyche and stuff like that. And so man, it's people forget how much of your body goes into embodying a character, right? So bro,
it just makes it so much more impressive when you see I got to watch The Smashing Machine last week.
Oh, I saw that.
And I was like, oh wow, this is not everyone can do this. This guy is massive.
And what a revelation for Dwayne, because he's a guy who we know is a massive guy already. But you could just tell that there's levels to it. There's levels to how you can make your body.
He looks like Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
And that guy was made up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He did. He
I
really
was
did.
Whoa, this is it was freaky a little bit.
Yeah, I mean honestly his whole performance was
point.
I think his whole performance was kind of freaky. And I don't mean I'm watching it being freaked out, but I've never seen
he freaked out.
That.
Yeah, he was doing it was a great performance, and I was really really pleased.
I watched that movie, and like, you know, I'm not really big into UFC. Like that kind of like freaks me out. Like I always feel like I'm gonna watch somebody die or something like that.
It's happened.
It's happened, right?
Yeah.
So, but when I'm watching this movie and I don't know anything about Mark Kerr, and the one thing that like struck me the most about Dwayne's performance was he's a big guy, but he's really soft spoken. Right? It was the way he changed his speech pattern for that role. Something that I've never the last time I saw The Rock do that and he left it behind really fast was in Fast 5. Where he had kind of like a Texan, like Southern like type of accent.
Okay.
But this was like the first time where like the scene that sticks out the most to me was when he says Advil? You got Advil?
Oh, to the doctor?
Yeah,
when
to the doctor.
He's overseas and he's trying to get some...
I saw that in the trailer and I was like, he sounds different. And then there's moment that like gets me is when he says, I can't get on that. You know what that'll do to my tummy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? He sounds like a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like that, and then at the, I don't want to spoil it, but there is a moment where you get to know the actual Mark Kerr.
Oh, yeah.
And you hear the speech patterns. Yeah. And I'm like, The Rock disappeared into this role. Like I forgot that I was watching The Rock. And so I think it's like really cool how he's like reinvented himself with that role. Yeah. And even now, like we talk about box office and like, you know, the value that we place on that when it comes to a movie is that, you know, it didn't make a lot. I think it made like $6 million at the domestic box office. And he said, not everything can be determined by box office. Right, like the box office doesn't determine everything.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of jumping it. They got a little quickly though. It's only been
a week. And I feel like we do this a lot.
Dwayne, chill,
right?
He saw one too many comments and he was like, I'm out.
All right, I'm out. I'm not doing this no more.
Like James, chill.
But I think that also speaks to just kind of like where he's at now, because he is used to making movies that like when he's in them and they come out in one weekend, it's like easy 30 mil. Yeah. Easy 30 mil. And so like for him, it's like when I make a TikTok and I'm used to like 200K and then I get something that's like 30. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, it's still at 30. I'm like, that's still a lot. Yeah. Right?
You should come out with a post that's like, guys,
guys, what's going on here? Am I cooked? Am I unk? Should I put the fries in the bag, bro? Should I put the fries in the bag?
Sorry.
But that's what messes us up about like the end result of like, you know, dollar signs and views. It's like we expect a certain amount, and if we don't get to that amount, it can mess with you, right?
I totally understand that, yeah.
And I feel like with somebody with Dwayne Johnson at Dwayne Johnson's caliber, who was making a lot of movies and making a lot of money, regardless of like if you thought those movies were good or not, dude was still making money, and now he's making something that was like self-fulfilling for him. Yeah. And for him to come out and be like, it's just box office. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my worth. I know what I can do as a performance. Like, his performance is being praised. Yeah. Right? The movie's not, like, bad. It's actually pretty good. So, like, it's really cool to see Dwayne Johnson in this new kind of, like, mode. And, like, I'm excited to see, like, what he does after. I know he has a Martin Scorsese.
He's doing a movie with, like, a turtle or something, right?
A movie with a turtle?
Right? Oh, am I lying? Maybe
what? A movie with a turtle?
Or, like, I saw somewhere that there was like an article that he's going to be in a movie where his best friend is an animal. Maybe I'm getting it wrong that it's a turtle, but yeah, I think it's really cool to see folk in their experimental kind of like breaking out of their molds. Yeah. Because it's definitely, I got to imagine that it's comfortable making however much he's making, doing what he loves already, to kind of switch gears from that. I think it's, you know, I'm always excited to see someone try something new.
Yeah, that's always fun. But what I want to get into, because like the whole purpose of the show, Get Wrecked with Straw Hat Goofy, is that I like to learn about people from like some of their favorite movies that have like, what I like to say, changed their brain chemistry. Okay. Because when I feel like when a movie changes their brain chemistry, it is inadvertently creating who you are in real time. They give you values in life. They make you realize who you want to be, things of that sort. So I need to ask you, man, like, what is a movie that changed your brain chemistry?
That's a great question. I think the first one that comes to mind is this movie Bajo la Misma Luna, Under the Same Moon.
I feel like I've heard of this one before.
I'm failing to come at who, you know, made the movie right now, unfortunately, but my mom was working an event with Jarritos, the drink company, right? and they had held a screening of this movie, and my mom just had to bring me along with her. I must have been like 6 or 7 or something like this. And I remember watching the movie, and I definitely didn't understand how serious the subject matter of the movie was and what these characters were going through, but I did just have this immense, like, deep feeling of seeing the movie is about a young Mexican kid, and just seeing someone that vaguely kind of like it's based a bit in Los Angeles as well. It was instantly a click of like, oh my gosh, someone like myself could be in a movie like this, and there's a story that I can see myself in. That I definitely, without having the explicit words for it at that age, can now, having like revisited the movie, was on the plane actually a few weeks back, and I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen this in so long. Like, I'm so interested. Let me see, like, does it stand a test of time? Do I like it now? Like, I so vivid, like, I so clearly know now, like, why I liked the movie, and I didn't know anything, wasn't a sin of blah, 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 blah. I was fucking so young, like, I had no idea, but I see now, like, whoa, it's not an accident that this is a movie that was kind of changed my chemistry, like you're saying here. The acting is phenomenal. The story is really great. And
what's the story about?
The story is about this son and his mom. It's just the two of them, and she wants to, bring back more money and have a, better future for her family. So she decides to immigrate to the States and leave the kid with, his extended family. In this time, it turns out that she actually has to grind a bit harder. It's much harder to make as much as she wants to bring him over, to hire a lawyer to do it the right way, blah, 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 blah. And this ends up taking so long that the kid is finally like, fuck it. I'm going to go to LA, whatever way I can, and go see my mom because I miss her. And every day they have a ritual where they talk on the phone, and the mom will describe, at the payphone what she's seeing around her. And she's like, oh, I see a Little Caesars, and I see, I see this thing, and I see this. And so he gets out to LA, and he's looking at like every intersection in LA that has a Little Caesar, blah, blah, blah. It's a beautiful story. He meets Eugenio Derbez along the way, and he's kind of this like less than kind of, not a con artist, but definitely like slick, and they ally, and finally at the end he's like, all right, I'll help you out, I guess, let's do this. And it shows like not only the power of friendship, but like, it shows, I think, really perfectly the sacrifice that comes with certain dynamics. Like we were talking about off pod, like I'm so privileged to be in a city that my family is still in, and not be in this position where I have to, in order to achieve the dreams that I'd like to, I have to leave my family. So this is what this movie is about. It definitely has, I don't rewatch it like I do some of my other favorites.
Yeah, but it's impactful though. It like sticks.
It totally gave me the bug of being like, oh shoot, we are in these movies.
Here in this movie, and I love talking about when movies influence other movies. Like when I was talking to Ryan Coogler, he was talking about how Puss in Boots inspired like his vampires and sinners.
Right.
Which was like
the wolf.
Like the wolf. He was like, he said the mannerisms, the eyes, like that was all taken directly from Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
And like when you were describing like, this kid, because how old is this kid in this movie when he decides?
He must be like 6 or 7.
Oh, that's
crazy. Like, yeah, maybe like 10.
Okay, so it reminds me of like Coco.
Yeah.
Where like he's trying to find a family member in the land of the dead, and he runs into Hector.
Yeah.
And he's like the con artist like type of character, and like he helps him like to find him.
It's a great show.
And I wonder if like there is like some kind of like it's like creative inspiration, mood board, right? Like this is what we want to do. And I just love when movies can like do that, regardless of like genre or like medium, right? So like I'm definitely gonna be like checking that one out because I feel like it's been recommended to me before.
It's a great one. It's a really heartwarming story, and I also have like a fascination with young performances, like as someone who got started so young and like was really interested in how to change into a different character. It always fascinates me when I see a performance and I'm like, whoa, how the frick how did you do this? What were these adults whispering you to
no, for real. Like this can't be all like, intuition.
But yeah, sometimes like, you see some of these shows and I'm like, whoa, this is so impressive what some of these young minds are capable of. And this is definitely an example of that.
You ever watch Adolescence?
I haven't, but I feel like I have to.
So it's a quick binge. I think it's only 4 episodes.
Whoa!
Each episode is like 4 hours, so it's basically Lord of the Rings.
Wait,
sorry. Each episode is an hour, so it's 4 hours. Sorry,
like, 16 hours.
It's like
that young kid is Jesus.
But this like what I'm about to tell you, you really would have been like the fuck because every episode is shot in one take.
I heard every episode is shot in one take, and they had like, let's say 6 days that they would shoot, like 6 takes.
Yeah.
For each episode.
Yeah.
And the rehearsal that goes into like,
dude, insane.
It's impeccable. For so much of my career, I didn't necessarily have the opportunity to have this rigor that comes from doing something that almost feels like a play in a way, where the cameras are always rolling and you're always on, and I got to work on a project earlier this year that I'm so excited about for it to come out, where it was challenging in the ways that I'm sure it was for all those folk on Adolescence, and being like, whoa, I don't know if I can memorize a whole episode. Like, I've never had to do that before. I don't know if I could do that, but getting to the other end of that, it just feels so fantastic.
It's a different
working
muscle.
With this, working with the crew, and I'm sure it's got to be the same for those folk over at Adolescence.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different challenge, and I feel like I think there's a comforting piece to it where that like actors have done this, so it's like if they've done it, I can do it, right? Like there's theater actors who do it all the time.
That's what I like about Shakespeare,
right? It's
like, dude, there's 400,000 people who have been in the line to play Hamlet, and I'm just at the front of this.
You're just at the front now, and that's awesome. But there's this like there's a great moment where like even it would like the camera will come out of the house, follow someone into a car, and then they will have a whole thing of dialogue on the way to a whole separate location. Oh, yeah. And I'm like,
that's Children of Men right there.
That timing is crazy. Fire. It's crazy. But the Owen Cooper, I believe his name is, he just won an Emmy.
Yeah.
I think he's like 13 or 14 or something like that. Youngest Emmy winner in history.
The frick?
Bro.
But Miguel Diaz, I mean, he has an All-Valley championship.
He has an All-Valley championship. Bro, you won the Tekai Sekai, bro. Like, come on. Like, the All-Valley. You got a world championship under your belt. Like, come on, bro. Like, I like you saying, he's got the Valley championship. It's all good.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
13, the youngest male.
And he has the third episode is like his episode. Like, it all takes place, I don't want to call it an interrogation, but he's talking to like an investigator, social worker.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just between those two.
I've definitely seen clips for that where he's like, I didn't do it, blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
Man.
Don't tell me what to do.
Crazy good.
Yeah.
Crazy good. And I remember, again, what you're saying about like young performances, I remember when Max Landis, fuck Max Landis. I just had to say that. But back before fuck Max Landis, he was on this show I used to watch called Movie Fights.
Okay. Oh,
and
yeah.
I love Movie Fights, bro.
Dude, you're unlocking a memory for me right now.
Oh, bro. Listen, I'm trying to bring it back. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
I'm trying to bring something like that
back.
a
great series.
Such a great series, great debates, great moments. I think about them all the time. And one of my favorite moments ever was like Max Landis, who I believe just came out for Chronicle during that time.
Okay.
And he was asked to pitch before Batman v Superman came out, a Batman v Superman movie, and it was a great pitch. But what was he talking about? He was pitching a TV show that had to do with a teacher teaching a class, and he had this philosophy of teaching kids not like they were kids, but treating them as if they were adults.
Okay.
And that resulted in these kids who are very, very smart and pick up on things really, really fast, actually being very smart. And like it becomes like this Game of Thrones thing in the classroom.
Oh gosh.
Where like these children are like manipulating each other to get what they want and all these type of things. And there's this one
so
kid.
Anime.
And I was like, bro, it's the most anime. And I said that would be a great anime for sure. And I think he said as much when he said like, in order to pull this off, you're gonna have like 10-year-old Marlon Brandos or something like that. But
now we got one.
We got one.
Cooper.
Can we just fill this out and put them all in the show right now?
Well, we also have that AI girl, right?
Fuck that AI girl. Fuck you, Tilly. Fuck you, Tilly.
She could play all 13 of them.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
She could do anything. Should fucking Tilly Norwood. I really made a video just like recently saying like, if I catch y'all watching a movie with Tilly fucking Norwood.
You might not even know. That's the scary part. Like you might just get to the credits and be like,
it says Tilly
damn it! Fuck! I was so close.
That would fuck me up.
I'm a scab. I'm
a
scab.
No, like, did you ever watch Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
Remember, did you get that same surprise at the end when you found out that Les Grossman was Tom Cruise? And you were like, what? Bro, like, I remember going, huh? And I feel like that's going to be Tilly Norwood. And, like, you get to the credits. No! Oh, my God.
I thought that was Jason Statham.
She flips off the camera, like, right after, just like, got you. You thought you were supporting the arts.
No.
But, shit, I forgot what we were on. Anyway. Yeah, that fucking kid, man, Owen Cooper, like his performance is like great. You ever watch the kid who plays Elliot in E.T. his audition tape?
No,
bro. When you're done with this,
isn't that kid like 3 or something though? Like
in that movie,
E.T.
He's like 5 or something.
Is he 5?
I'll
look it up. How old was he? Because I think when he finished the movie, he was like 12 or 11.
Okay.
He was pretty young. Like, he was really young. He was even younger in the audition. But this kid, like, in the audition tape, it makes you go, yeah, give him the award now.
Oh, that's so crazy.
And it's like, it's the scene where, like, he's auditioning for the scene where, I guess, like, the government men are interrogating him about E.T. And he's saying, like, you can't take him away. And you see, like, the tears streaming down his face, but it's, like, one of those, like, controlled, like, actor tears where you're just, like...
Yo, lock this kid up.
Lock him up!
Dude,
it was, like, you could tell, like, watching that, you were just, like, there was no other choice.
Wow.
There was no other choice.
He was 10 years old.
10 years old.
10 years old. So when he did the audition tape, he was probably 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
He bossed up on all those other 8-year-olds.
Bro, like, you could tell they came in. My mom said I should do this because, like, this and that. He said, nah. This role is mine. This is mine. And so, bro, I'm the same way as you, man. Whenever I see a young performance, like I believe the youngest actor to win an Oscar, I want to it's either Tatum O'Neal or Anna Paquin. Huh?
Beast of the Southern Wild or no?
No, she was nominated.
Oh, okay.
She was nominated. She didn't win, and I remember that. Her name is God, I'm gonna fucking butcher this name. I know her last name is Wallace, and it starts with a Q. So I'm not even gonna try and butcher it. But if I read it, I'll be able to say it. But yeah, she did it, and then she followed it up with Annie, and then I haven't seen her since, which is kind of sad. But the youngest one was Tatum O'Neal for the longest time for Paper Moon, and I think she was like, I want to say she was like 10 or 11.
Jeez.
And then Anna Paquin won for, I keep wanting to say The Pianist, but it's not The Pianist. The Pianist is the one with Adrian Brody. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get it, but Anna Paquin won at 9 years old.
Whoa,
9. And I remember seeing the clips of her holding the Oscar, and she's a little girl, just be like,
she's
thanks.
like, the Oscar is half her size.
Bro, my daughter is 8.
Yeah, so she was, Anna Paquin was 11, and she won for the piano.
So the piano, it was the piano. Okay, not the pianist, the piano. Yes, 11. Bro, my daughter's 8.
Yeah.
Like, you got 3 years to win an Oscar. Bro, you got
to be like the Serena dad, like we're out here in the rain.
Well, hold on, because if you want to do that, you gotta like, we're out here in the rain now. You know, I watched the Richard Williams movie. It was like, oh, yeah, we out here in the rain. You're making a mistake, but I'm gonna let you make it. So we go practice.
Your daughter's like, why are we doing this?
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
We had Cleo on the show, man. Cleo's a really good friend of, like, you know, just us in general, but of the show, and like,
oh, that's so cool.
It's really cool. I like to fuck with him sometimes. Because obviously like Holes is like his big thing. He's been like a paid actor, working actor for a long time. But I remember I was hosting at a anime expo.
Okay.
And I had like this crowd in front of me, and then like Cleo came up to say what's up, and nobody knew he was there yet. He was trying to be like low key about it. And I was on the microphone, and I was like, "Oh my God, guys, we got a celebrity in the building." And he's like, "No." I was like, "You guys know him from Roll Bounce," and he.
And you got the one guy in the back that's like, roll bounce.
The one roll bounce. I was the one guy. I was the one guy just like roll bounce. Some people were like, "Oh, I haven't heard of that in a while."
Yeah.
But like obviously and from Holes. And then that's when everybody kind of turned around. I was like, "Oh shit." And they see him, and that he's a really cool cat, bro. Like to see him come up like is like zero, and like even before that, I've been rocking with him since like Friday After Next, when he was like a little kid riding like the uncle, whatnot.
Whoa.
But like to see him like kind of come up and like he still be acting here and there, but he also is like kind of like carved out a nice place for himself in the world, where he's doing like a lot of like
where people like him for him.
People like him
outside of the roles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like and like he's lived such an interesting life. He was like, "Bro, I used to open for Bow Wow." Like, because he was a music artist too. So I'm like, bro, like to see where he's at now, I'm just kind of like, I'm so proud of that dude. Like, shout out to you, Cleo, bro. Like, that's my guy. Like, he's one of the biggest video game heads that I know as well. Yeah. Like, the dude, he hunts down collectibles. Like, he'll be like, "Oh, I found out that the original Xbox has a ET skin controller. I'm gonna go hunt it down and find it." And he gets it. I'm like,
well, Cleo, I got the R2D2 C3PO Xbox. So if you want it, I haven't used it.
I was about to FaceTime him right now. I'll be like, "Hey, bro, do you have this?" He probably does, but he'll probably hear this and be like,
"No, actually, my dad probably won't want to give it up." Actually, sorry, I take it back, Cleo. It's Star Wars.
Not the dad. Not the dad. Stop gapping it. Well, I got one last question, man.
Okay.
Obviously, I've said it already, but the name of the episode is Get Wrecked.
Yes.
So I want to do this new thing called the Reck List.
Okay.
Right. It's a list of recommendations of movies that you feel like people should like watch.
Okay,
like,
word.
No questions, just watch. Give me like 3.
Okay. I would say you got to flex that, you got to read some subtitles sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a problem with that.
And there's 2 movies that kind of come to mind. One of them is called The Intouchables. Intouchables. It's a French movie.
Omar Sy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one of my... Ever since I watched it, I think it perfectly encapsulates love in an unexpected way, of this allyship between this caretaker and his employer,
like his,
his boss,
his boss. Yeah, his boss. Yeah.
It is so beautiful. It's every time Omar Sy smiles, you just like have this. It's so infectious. He radiates on the screen, and his dynamic with his boss is really, really great.
Remember, The Intouchables, not The Untouchables with Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston.
Right. Not that one. I watched the first 5 minutes of that one. I was like, I love both of those people, but it's both. Just...
Sometimes you just can't beat the original when we talk about remakes and stuff like that. But.
A good bit of the time. Another kind of brain-altering chemistry movie was Men in Black.
Okay. We talked about this off pod a little bit.
Yeah, this is... I've seen this movie more than any other movie. It's just great innovation and like that sci-fi ability to create a world on film is so cool.
Plus one of the best like duos in cinematic history, in my opinion.
Great duo.
You never would expect it.
There's so many quotables. Like, I love Will Smith. Like, I make this look good.
I was just about to say,
I make this look good.
I make this look good. I love that.
There's so many, like, I just remember being a kid, like, this is the coolest. Or like, why'd you shoot that girl? And he's like, explaining, this guy's just doing pull-ups. This guy's sneezing.
Oh,
he's blowing his nose.
He's not growling. He's sneezing. And the little girl, like, those books are way too advanced for her. He was like, and that's why I did it, sir. And I'll appreciate it if you used up off my back about it.
It's such a legendary movie, and
I personally like a quote from that movie. Sorry to cut you off, but I have to say it. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it.
Wait, which part
if
is
you're
that?
Strong enough. It's like when he's recruiting him to go.
Oh,
and like,
yes. He's sitting on the bench.
He's sitting on the bench and he's walking
yeah.
away. And he goes like, is it worth it? Like losing all this? Like, is it worth like losing like, you know, my connections, everything, my identity? And he goes like, oh yeah, it's worth it. If you're strong enough.
Yeah.
And he just keeps going. And I'm like, I like that.
It's
That's
great.
applicable to anything.
It's great.
It's great.
It's a fantastic 10 out of 10 movie.
Plus the music is great too.
The music is really great. And then the last movie is this movie called Mad Bills to Pay.
Okay.
You actually can't watch it right now. Ha ha ha.
Oh, what?
But it should be coming out in the next few weeks, months, depending on when this comes out. It was a movie I saw at Sundance and really so different than anything I've seen before. Really? A much quieter story about this kid from New York who is navigating adulthood and ends up getting a girl pregnant. And each scene, by nature, it's an indie movie just because of their budget. Each scene is a painting in that it's on a tripod and it doesn't move at all. You're witnessing the whole movie in one shot at a time, and it just allows the story and the actors to totally it feels like you're a fly on the wall in rooms that you would never get to be a part of. And the acting is phenomenal, but just the story, I feel like, is one that I've never seen told before.
Okay.
And for that reason, I just am such a big fan of it. It's funny, but also really serious. And like, it's also, it seems like something that like, I could totally see this happening to any of us.
Yeah.
And to get to see someone in that vulnerable state, I really enjoyed the movie, and I hope, it gets to come out in big theaters. I think they just got acquired, so nice. I'm hoping that,
Yeah, that sounds a lot like that movie with Tom Hanks that came out called Here.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like the Robert Zemeckis joint.
In the living room or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's like one spot, and then it starts from the dawn of time.
This one is in one spot though, right?
Yeah, it's like
literally
it's like in one
you're
spot.
looking in one angle the whole time,
the whole
and then
time.
like it's a house, and then it's something else. Blah, blah, blah. Yes,
but
that is
I
an
like
interesting idea.
I like this one though, where you said because it's different locations, but just like one spot.
It's wherever the story needs to go, but
I like
they
that.
don't have time to get multiple angles and get close up, so they're just like
I like that in the sense of like because like I feel like Here is raw. It's raw. It's more like a theater, right?
Yeah.
Like as we talked about. Whereas this one that you're describing is more of like what's that thing that you do with like you click it and then like it has a different slide to it.
It's like a slideshow.
It's like a slideshow.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's like you're in a new
montage.
location and you're just trying to figure out like what's happening in the story at this moment in time. But the most important thing is like, what does this place mean to these people, and like how does it inform like
how is it serving the story?
How is it serving the story? That sounds very interesting. And what's it called?
It's called Mad Bills to Pay.
Mad Bills to Pay. I'm on it.
That's a really fun one.
All right, cool.
But yeah, I could go on and on. There's tons of movies, but yeah, those are great three to start with.
For sure. All right, for my rec list, and you probably have seen these things, but like these are movies that are like really like important to me. Like
I hope
for
I
sure.
have.
Sing Street is a big one. For me, I believe you can watch that one on Netflix right now.
Is that Coleman Domingo, the new?
No, that's Sing Sing.
Okay. Is that the one with the singing pig?
No, that's Sing.
Okay.
I didn't realize how many movies have like this like sing like kind of like thing going on in it.
Okay, sorry.
No,
what is this movie?
We're clipping that. Sing Street is this movie out of I want to say it's out of Dublin, Ireland. I want to say it's Ireland.
Checking.
Yeah, check for me on that. But it's about this kid. It's a coming of age movie. Okay. And it's like a pseudo musical, not really. Okay. Because music is
a character.
It's a character in the story, right? Because it's about this kid who's like, his parents are going through a divorce, so they put him in like this new like Catholic school. And, he sees this girl across the street. He's only made one friend at this point. He sees this like really like cute girl across the street, walks over to her with all the irrational confidence in the world, chats her up a little bit, and just on a whim says, "Oh, I have a band." And she goes, "Oh, you have a band?" He says, "Yeah, you should come see us play."
Whoa, he just busted out the Irish accent.
Why
did you wait till hour 2 to do this?
That's all I can do. Don't expect anything else.
We should have introed like that.
Hey, welcome to Get Reck. That's when it gets worse. I should have stopped.
Your wife is in me DMs. Sorry.
What did you say to me, man? I'm sorry. Yeah, so he basically fabricates this band to impress this girl.
Oh, shit.
But however, he goes to his friend and says, "We need to make a band, like stat."
Yeah.
And so he collects a bunch of like kids that he doesn't know. They create a band, but he slowly falls in love with making music.
Yeah.
Like he falls in love with actually being an artist. And so you see the evolution of him being a lonely kid who literally has this cute girl across the street. And he just like goes from making crap music to like really, really good music.
That's cool.
And so it's really cool because you get to see someone falling in love with something for the very first time and like how their environment like influences him, like where he pulls the inspiration from. There's this one song, and I will die on this hill every day of the week. It's called "Drive It Like You Stole It."
You don't have to. It's okay.
That's how. We don't
need you to do that.
I don't have to, but I want to. Like, right? That's how serious I am.
Okay.
And it's a song that should have won Best Original Song at the Oscars.
Whoa.
Should have. But I think it was like produced by the Weinstein Company at the time, and they were going through like their fuck Weinstein, and they just did not put anything behind it. No awards campaign behind it. But that song is so damn good. It's like 80s inspired. Like there's a kind of like a music video moment where he imagines that he's in like a Back to the Future type thing in it. And all the songs are great. One song called "Going Up" is like amazing, but "Drive It Like You Stole It." Like I would even say, like even before you watch the movie, like listen to the song in the car.
I'll listen to it on the way home. Yeah.
It sounds like a beautiful road trip.
Okay.
It's incredible. But yeah, Sing Street is like a great one. Chronicle, like that one is directed by Josh Trank. Has Michael B. Jordan. Dane
Oh
DeHaan.
wait, is that the found footage
The
kind
found
of? They get
footage one?
powers.
Yeah.
This is one of my homie's favorite movies
Bro,
as well.
I
We
just-
watched this during Blue Beetle. I remember.
Oh, really?
He was living with me, and I remember he was like, "Yo, let's throw this one on." That's a cool one.
It's a great one. It's a great one. Anybody who like people say like, "Oh yeah, Michael B. Jordan." Like I'm like, yeah, Michael B. Jordan. This is his breakout to me.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
What are they saying about Michael B. Jordan?
Well, like I've talked to some people that would be like, "Oh, Michael B. Jordan just plays the same character in everything he's in," and my girlfriend doesn't like Michael. She likes him.
Okay.
She doesn't get the hype.
Okay.
Right? She doesn't get the hype, and I'm always constantly defending Michael B. Jordan. I'm like, did you see Fruitvale? Did you see Sinners?
Yeah,
Did you see
Fruitvale, The Wire?
Killmonger? The
Did you
Wire?
see-
Like
yeah.
I'm always like, and I would not allow.
He was in
anyone-
Parenthood too. He was in the very first show that I was ever in.
Really?
Yeah. He was the love interest to one of the daughters on that show, and I mean, even then it was like, whoa, Michael B. Jordan's coming on set. It was
Okay.
I
I feel like
he's
anybody in
been that
their
guy.
right mind doesn't have anything bad to say about Michael B. Jordan. But
Except
like,
that one interviewer. Except that one.
And- yes.
His one friend.
Yes,
From way back in the day.
back in the day.
He's like,
Oh, the cornball, right?
dude, Michael B. Jordan. That's just
That
so
was-
funny that
honestly.
this dude has lived such a life, but still is like there on the carpet. Like
I would've remembered.
It's what a legendary.
Listen, that would be so me too. I would have remembered. And like, I'm not gonna like blow your spot up. I'm not gonna blow you up like that. But just to be
no.
like, hey,
I'm corny, huh?
I'm corny, huh?
That's just so funny.
I'm like, bro, you're Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, but you know what? I'm with it. I'm with that level of like petty.
Yeah, he's
Listen,
like,
because like, if I would have saw her on the carpet, because she would look like she was at the end of the carpet.
you could easily just walk right past.
And which would have said a
But
lot.
He was like,
which would have said, he said, I'm going to stop. And you know, he saw her as soon as he got there. He was like, this is the moment.
he's looking at the like agenda for the day.
Yeah.
He's like, it's game time.
It's game time now.
I've been waiting.
But Xolo, thank you so much for coming through, man.
Appreciate
This
you
was
for having me, bro.
Great conversation, bro. I could talk to you for hours.
Thanks, bro.
Legitimately.
I had so much fun. It's I really appreciate you and all that you do, and you've always been so kind. I can't wait to see you on the next thing, bro.
Oh, of course, man. We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Please, once we get back from town, let's have you on the podcast too. You guys.
Oh,
can
bro.
go to our
Lone
set.
Lobos?
Please.
Come on, plug the podcast real
Please,
quick,
please,
man. Plug your
please.
pod
Yeah,
real quick.
No, my co-host, who actually was on an episode of Get Wrecked a few months back, Jacob Scott Thomas Bertrand. is my better half on our podcast, Lone Lobos. So check it out anywhere you listen to podcasts. And that's it, bro.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you, dude.
All right.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for watching or listening, however you get your podcast love from. I'm here with Xolo Maridueña, and make sure you guys check out other episodes. Make sure you check out the clips. Just support the podcast any way that you can. We love it when you do that. And also, remember, I'm Straw Hat Goofy, your movie guy, and if you don't know me, can I be your movie guy?